Hello guys, welcome back to the Style and Culture. We have very special guest in the building. We have Equation Billionz. So that we got a big man in the building. So we want to find out more about him, what he does, and he's gonna introduce himself, give us a little bit more about his, background and how he started into music. So what's up, brother? Good man. Nice having you, man.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
So for those that don't know you, tell us a little bit more about you and how the passion into music started.
Well, my artist name is Equation Billionz. I'm originally from Kent, Medway. I started getting into music when I was around 13. I was quite young. I started rapping initially, and then when I was 16, I started diving into melodies and started trying to do Afrowave, like UK Afrowave. And I started evolving, started finding my sound, and I'm here today. Still hustling.
No, you're doing good, man. You're doing good, 100%, man. So when did you realize, what, I'm good at this. I'm definitely gonna go, make it serious, trying to make a living with it.
I think it's when I was 17, I did a song with Tenny and Tenny the Entertainer. So that was a really surreal moment for me because it was so early on and I didn't expect it to happen so quick. So I just felt like at that point there was no turning back. It was such a good point in my career.
You had the taste of music. You say, what, this is cool, man. This is what I want to do.
Definitely,
that's cool, man. Music is not, it's something like you need to come from within. You know what I mean? Like if you have that first experience, you really you felt, you say, what, this is something I gotta keep going, man. I can't stop.
You can't. Music's taking a career in music. You can't be half-hearted. You have to be fully in to be able to be committed. And I feel like I've been doing that since I started. And I'm still on the way.
For that track, the track you said, you put out that first track. How did you get the reaction from people? Like, for you to say, what, how did that reaction feel?
Oh, it was good because obviously having someone of that caliber, like at that point in my career where I kind of just started diving into more melodies and Afrobeats, it was crazy that people were just so shocked and happy for me. And I kind of used that to my advantage and it fueled me and motivated me to be able to carry on and keep going and keep progressing.
He's very versatile in music then. He does melodies and rap, drill and things like that. Like which one did you like more? Like more rapping or be more melodic?
What, now or?
Now.
Oh. I feel like it's all. I feel like rapping because it's what I always started with, and it's the good way to express myself. But I think I like singing and melodies as much now because of how I'm finding my sound and stuff, and trying to make stuff unique, and so I'm generating more ideas.
So talking about your sound, how do you start improving your the way you want people to listen to your music? How do your sound come about? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously every time when you're making music, you want to deliver something. You want people to to digest your song in a certain way. How did you start developing that?
I think I just started talking about my life experiences and things that I went through, and I know that a lot of things that people go through as human beings is normally relatable. So I just try to be as transparent as I can. And also doing things behind just releasing music, listening to maybe top 50 songs in the world of different genres and try and understand what they do and how to integrate it into my music. Just gaining inspiration, to be honest.
So how do you balance that street music and melody and then trying to deliver more inspiring messages as possible, you know, because it's hard for you to be able to balance the street and melody in the song if you're more into drill and then you're trying to get pivot a little bit into actually singing a little bit, because Afrobeat, there's a lot of melody in Afrobeat. It's not just you don't just drop bars. You need to put a melody into it. How did you balance that?
It's just all about what inspires me in that moment, or depending on what kind of mood I'm in or what kind of beat I want to listen to. So it all starts with just finding inspiration, I suppose, and whatever I'm feeling like, I can either express it in rap or I can express it with melodies. So it just depends on the vibe I'm feeling. And
I did listen to your song. The last two songs you put out, they did a little bit good numbers in there. I see the numbers in there, but the one with the prom, pushing the prom, that was creative. How did the idea came about to to make a video, with the prom, that little toy baby on there. You know what I mean? How did the idea came about?
It was just an experience that I went through, and I just was trying to convey my side of events and like just.
So your dad?
Nah, it's just no. It was just a little situation that happened, and I just use music to express myself.
To express it in that way.
Yeah,
but it was cool,
in a
though.
kind of humorous way.
But the idea came from you, or you know the producer that was doing
so
the video?
It was a joint effort between me and the directors. I brought the idea to them obviously because I went through the situation, and then we just kind of shared ideas and found a way to make it into a video. And it
was sick. It was definitely sick. But I watched the video. Said the creativity on there. You know what I mean?
Thank
it's
you,
sick,
bro.
especially because you don't have much people in there.
Yeah.
Also, you know the video focused more on you.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Obviously the pram get a lot of attention. The first thing I seen in there before I seen the the toy baby. I said he's actually the real baby in that pram. And then I seen a little toy baby, but it was sick, man.
Yeah, no.
But when you're in the studio, when you're making music, do you like freestyle on it, or you go through, you listen to the beat first and then make through the beat with the beats?
It varies. Like I said, it depends on what kind of vibe I'm going for, what kind of mood I'm in. Normally, if I'm rapping, if I hear something that I want to rap on, I normally do freestyle just to try and find pockets in the beat and like stuff like that.
Mumble on there a little bit just to get certain things
and then
out.
I might just record something like a little demo, go back, write some stuff. Or for melodies, it's a bit different. I have to listen to the beat more and then I'm able to write. I don't just freestyle straight away. So
it's not easy, but I have no talent for music. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like very impressive when I see people doing that. I've been like in a studio, like when people making music. I know like it's exciting too. If you never made music before, first time in the studio, you're gonna feel like you're capable to do it too. If you're into music, you really like music. Like I've been in the studio before with my boys. And it was making music, but I wasn't there like you're sitting around chilling. But the way they made it look so easy. I want to start making music too, but I know I can't do it, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I can't write for shit. I'm telling you, bro. Putting the rhymes through, bro. It's not my thing. 100% not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's fine. But it's a really good skill set to have. Like it's a personal.
Can you record by yourself as well? Did you do your own recording as well? Or you always
a lot of the time I record with myself. Like I have a home studio. I set up a studio at home, so I just record when I have ideas and stuff like that. And sometimes I go to the studio to lay it down when it's time to release and stuff like that. So I'm always recording, always generating ideas, always writing.
Do you see any producer like you'd like to collaborate in the UK? Special one, the one you say, you know what, this producer is sick, man. I would definitely like to work with.
I mean, I'm just obviously just going through the motions and just like listening to beats. I have producers that I work with at the moment and stuff. So just whatever comes, whatever happens. I'm not really looking at anyone in particular that I'm targeting. I'm just trying to, target a bigger audience and then just see what opportunities come from that.
For sure. Because obviously, like, there's some good producers out there in the UK.
Of course.
People they make good beats, but obviously, like I said, the main reason me creating this platform for me to put people on out there.
Of course.
Help them to because there's a lot of good producers out there that putting like some good tracks out there. But they're not known. Like the guy that I was called again, Pop Smoke. All this beat and then made the song, and then he blew off straight away. It's from the UK as well, isn't it? I know there's one producer that Pop Smoke was doing these songs using his beats, and then when you put the song and then the song blew, and then the guy he skyrocketed as well as a producer. But he's good. He's always been good, but no one discovered him until one guy from America far away. Do you know what I mean?
And that's the power of networking.
But
getting
also because I would say in the UK people don't give value to what we have here. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of talent in the UK.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of talent.
People don't, what's your take on that? What do you think, like the public in the UK should be like, behaving in terms of like, value more artists and stuff?
I mean, I think that's just a generalization. Not everybody in the UK is the same. It's just, unfortunately, there's a certain amount of people, particular type of people that don't like to, jump on the wave of stuff until it's popular. But not everyone's like that. There are people who do like to take in music and take in new artists that are coming up. So everyone's different. Everyone does different stuff.
Did you listen more UK music or American?
A bit of both, to be honest. I've been listening to Central C a lot recently.
Would you love to collaborate? One day.
Yeah, that would be that would be great. Yeah, definitely, 100%.
In the UK's artists, who would you say like is the top one you would love to collab with?
Definitely
Central C is on the list.
Up there. Wow, I can't really think of any on top of my head, but there are a few that people I've been listening to more recently that have been inspiring me. So
are you from like which part of London are you from? Like north?
No, so I'm originally from Kent. Kent,
so it's just like a little bit outside.
It's just outside London. Yeah.
So you don't really like you're not biased when it comes to that, because obviously like if you're from North London and then you saying you want to collab with eyes from South London, you're gonna be like, come on, bud,
all that stuff to me is just all that stuff is just I like to just stay neutral and just business is business, bro. For me, just get on with it, really.
But the industry, like in that side of in the UK is it's pretty hard. It's everywhere is hard anyway. Like when it comes to music, it's hard for you to get into it, for you to be able to blow in in the UK in general. Like I know how hard it is in music. It's tough, but especially in London, there's so much talent in London. How do you manage to keep going and stay inspired to
I think you just have to always find ways to stay hungry and always revert back to the reason why you started doing music, because a lot of the time music mentally is very difficult. Like you can go through spirals of feeling not motivated to write, go through writer's block, times where you just have a bit of doubt and you kind of just biting the bullet and just gambling and just doing something consistently until you seek rewards, because the industry is different. You see the rewards later on, so you have to go through some stages, but
there's some lucky people some lucky people that like manage to drop a couple of songs and then they
you need a bit of luck, but I feel like you have to really work hard as well, and like also at your craft as well, and always find ways to improve, because people are doing stuff every day. There's so many unique artists out there. You have to find a way to stand out. So
you try Afrobeat as well, you said. How what do you think? You think like it's easy for for UK artists to jump into Afrobeat, knowing the sound in Africa is different, you know what I mean? Like I feel like if you want to do Afrobeat then to be able to be proper on it, you need to be there for a bit, because the sound is different, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so funnily enough you say that, I was actually in Nigeria for around a year and a half in 2019. When I obviously did the song with Tenny, and when I was trying to find new ways to adapt to Afrobeats as well, and work with different people out there. So it's tough. You have to gauge the culture as well, and the music as well, and use
that's the main thing.
Definitely, and use how your outgoings when you're going out and stuff. Just finding inspiration and different things to write about, and have different experiences.
So if you're from Nigeria, who's best in Nigeria right now? You got these three names I'm gonna call. I want you to tell me which one you think is your favorite. Burna Boy, Wizkid, and Davido.
I don't really have
actually 4. Ashake.
I don't really have a favorite, to be honest. I feel like they're all unique in their own ways. They all offer something to their own fan base, and that's what keeps them going at the top. So
I'm not Nigerian, so I'm allowed to say he's Nigerian. Maybe that's why. I like Ashake, man. Ashake right now.
Yeah, big up Ashake though.
Right now, I think Ashake is killing it. Don't get me wrong, I do like all those names, but Wizkid is my favorite.
Okay.
But right now,
big up Wiz. Yeah.
Right now, Ashake, man, come on, big up to Ashake, man. He's killing it. He's killing it big time, man. I definitely love what he's doing. Style-wise, you know what I mean? He's killing it as well, man. Yeah. But which one of them have you met already? Have you met any of them personally, or none of them yet?
Yeah, I encountered Burna Boy in Nigeria a few years ago. I also saw Wizkid as well. Ashake I actually spent a bit of time with when I did a song with Tenny. Stuff like that. We kind of helped me with the song that we structured and stuff sometimes. So only a few of them.
That's good, man. At least you know what I mean. You gain the taste of the fame already. You know what I mean? When it comes to that end. Music comes with fame. Fame bring women. How is that? How are you dealing with do you know what I mean? Relationship as when you go to let's say you're opening up in the club, or you perform in the club. You know what I mean? It's different. The female crowd is you know what I mean? They always come when it's how'd you deal with that?
I just feel like all that stuff to me is just
superficial.
They just pose as distractions. I think I'm more interested in, you know, making sure that I get the music out there. And obviously, I know it does bring female attention, and it's good, like, for the music and stuff. So I just try to make music that everyone can enjoy and everyone can party to and everyone can have a good time. So
when you have to, when it's good
focused.
time, you have a good time. When it's your time to work, you gotta put in to work.
Yeah.
But with this, a lot of challenges in the music though. How would you deal with this? Like, you know, so many challenges. Though. Like, you know, like let's say you put an album out or you put a song out, and you see things, the numbers are not picking up. How would you get motivated?
Like I said, it's tough. You just have to keep reverting back to the reason why you started music. And I feel like sometimes your journey also, like, can remind you of how many hardships you've been through. And sometimes just because maybe you're not seeing some results straight away, like, not stopping it is not worth it. So you just have to always keep grounded, keep finding new ways to improve yourself and stay inspired. That's what I say.
Definitely. That's what inspiration, obviously. First of all, you need to remember what brought you to, do you know what I mean? Like, your passion, where you want to go, for you to be able to, like, you know, keep going and, you know, hard and hard and hard.
Yeah.
But is there any project, like, you know, you thinking about, like, you know, obviously, like, you have a couple of tracks out. The last 2 tracks you put that did the good numbers as well. Do you know what I mean? I seen it. Because obviously I went through your YouTube channel.
Appreciate it, bro.
If I'm interviewing you, I have to do my research.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
See, those the last 2 you put out, they did good numbers as well. So are you thinking about putting any album out or mixtape, any future projects? People want to know. You're making music, man, you know what I mean?
I've got loads of music in the vault, so much music. I'm just obviously strategizing at the moment. I've got something potentially dropping at the end of next month, end of May. And then in June I'm dropping again.
Just a single? Or
just a single. I'm doing some singles.
No mixtape at the moment.
However, I feel like depends on the mood.
Okay, we'll be waiting. We'll be waiting.
Yeah, 100%. But just keep posting.
Now, do you know what I mean?
So
So
I appreciate it,
I'm gonna be sitting there waiting for you to drop some, you know, at least 8-9 songs. You know what I mean? For us to sit down and listening to, not just one at a time. Do you know what I mean?
Don't worry.
Like, you know, the fans always gonna want it albums or mixtapes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I've got all of that loading up. Trust me.
Come on, man.
It's all coming along. It's all coming along, bro. Thank you.
So we have a couple of fire questions, quick questions. You know what I mean? Like, you know, just as, you know, I want one or the other answer. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, cool.
So the first one is drill or rap?
Rap.
Ends, you know, making videos on ends or cinematic? Cinematic band.
Yeah.
Stage or studio?
Stage.
Bars or melody?
Bars.
Dream collab in UK and US?
UK, Adele. US. Oh, I say like Ghana maybe.
Ghana.
I want to be remembered as an artist who always tried to be transparent, always tried to express myself through music, and hopefully I was able to resonate with people when they couldn't express their feelings. Hopefully I was there to be someone who could, you know, reason with them and be like somebody who understands them and understands what they're going through. Anyone that's young, anyone that's wanting to start music, just go for it. Find something you enjoy doing, a sound that you enjoy, a genre, and keep at it. Always find ways to perfect your craft, find ways to be different every day. Also, be vulnerable, be yourself, be authentic. Don't try to act like anybody else or sing like anybody else. You can only be true to yourself. And keep hustling and keep going and keep persevering.
So guys, go and check his music. Guys, he's making a great music. Go and check his music, and you know, he already told you guys his name, Equation Billionz. You're gonna be a billionaire, hopefully.
Amen.
Too. You know what I mean?
100%. Amen.
The name gotta bring, you know, you gotta bring the back.
It's a manifestation still.
Of course, man. You gotta get to the millions as well. But go and check his music. Man is making great music. I went and, you know, listened to a couple of his songs. It was good, honestly. I recommend go and check it out. Do you have anything to announce to people in the right now?
Well, Billionz Affairs out right now. My latest drop, out on all digital platforms. My Instagram's official Equation. My TikTok is BillionsBoy with 3 Ys. So yeah, it's great to be here, bro. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much.